Hi, I'm Steve. I'm a retired trades teacher, and today I'm going to show you how to clean out a P-trap without any tools. We have a lot of buildup over the months. It could be soap scum, it could be hair. So if you have a slow drain, this is probably what you should be checking out first. And the only thing that you're going to need is basically a bucket. So I loosened up a lot of the items to make it a little bit easier. But the first thing that we want to do is you don't even have to shut your water off, which is your hot and your cold, the shut-off valves. You don't even have to touch that. All right. Obviously, just make sure that your faucets are in the off position. And the first thing that we want to do is just loosen up our retaining nuts on our P-trap. And once you loosen these up, there'll be small gaskets as well right over here. So if this one doesn't come off, you can only go all the way up to the tail section with the tailpipe and loosen it up over there. So it really doesn't matter. You can loosen it up down here or on the top. You will have some water here, so be careful. Hold it straight and then make sure that it's in the bucket and release that water. Here you will find most likely the buildup of items, and you can see a little bit over here and probably inside the tailpipe itself. In order to clean the entire tailpipe up from the plunger itself on the top of the sink, we can remove the retaining nut on the pivot rod, which is over here, and just push it out of the way. You don't have to release anything from the strap. You can leave it on the same situation with the same hole, the rod on the hole in the same situation as you have over here. You can leave it as it is. If you feel comfortable and it's in your way, you can remove it. Just mark it or count which rod hole that you have it on, so this way you know you're exactly where you should be when you install it back on. Then on the top of the sink, if you wish to do that, you can take the plunger out here and clean out the tailpipe all the way from the top all the way down. When you put the plunger back on, you will have a hole at the bottom of the plunger, so you want to make sure that your pivot rod, all right, goes back in the same spot. If you put it down in the same direction, you should have no problem. And once that's done, you can lift it up manually here before you tighten everything up to make sure that you are the pivot rod is in the plunger hole itself. Then tighten up the retaining nut here. Make sure you're not cross-threading. Sometimes you will have to get underneath the sink itself to take a look at it and make sure that you don't cross-thread it because it is plastic, the threads itself. Make sure that you tighten everything up. You don't need any tools. Just hand tighten it. And with your P-trap, start off with the tail section itself and tighten all of them by hand with the first one or two threads first. This way you know that you have everything installed and you're not going to be able to cross-thread. If you have a problem just doing one and tightening it, that might cause an issue. So just tighten all of them off first. And once you do that, tighten them up by hand, nice and snug. Leave the bucket there. You can run the water. If you see a small leak, you can always tighten them up a little bit by hand. But a good snug turn with your hand, no tools itself, should do the job. Once that's all tightened up, just make sure everything is secure back to where it is. And run the water for a little bit, 1 minute or two, and you shouldn't have any issues. And that will clean out all of the soap scum, hair, etc. that's accumulated over the time and over months that you've been neglecting to do that periodically. This should be done in a maintenance situation, probably once every 6 to 8 months. A year is a little bit too long. It all depends on how much you use the sink as well. So in the late words of my uncle, he always used to say, you have to do this up there, down there. And he would always start with those kinds of words before he would say any sentence. So this is Steve, retired trades teacher. Hope this helps you out.